Yeah.
Hello and welcome, Toastmasters and guests to Technopark Toastmasters chapter meeting number 70. I'm Rajeswary and I will be the acting surgeon at arms for the day. Toastmasters International is a non-profitable organization started by Ralph C. Medley to promote public speaking. Let me quote the mission of a Toastmasters Club. We provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. There are some ground rules which need to be followed during the meeting. One, please refrain from making any references to the religion, politics, and sex in your speech, which may hurt others' sentiments. Number two, please turn off all the noise-making devices like mobile phones and put them in silent mode. And third one is avoid crosstalks when someone is speaking. And fourth and final one, consider this virtual setup. Please ensure that you mute yourself if you are not speaking. I request all the guests to put their names in the meeting chat to introduce yourself, your name, your organization, how you came to know about this meeting. If you are interested in joining the club, you may stay back after the meeting and reach out to us. Once again, I welcome all of you to Technopark Toastmasters meeting. Now I welcome our acting president Arathi in the absence of President Prakash to open the meeting. Over to you, Arathi. Toastmaster Arathi.
Thank you, Acting Sergeant at Arms, Toastmaster Rajeswary, for opening the meeting right on the dot and setting the context of the meeting. My dear fellow Toastmasters, welcome to the 70th meeting of Technopark Toastmasters. A big round of applause to all of us because today we are also celebrating completion of 2 years of our Toastmasters journey. As a club, we were chartered on 13th of January 2021 and we have had an interesting journey so far. Lots of members we gained on the way, some we lost, some we have stayed with us on this journey. But what makes it memorable is that whoever has attended it, be it a short duration or long duration, take away with them a sense of happiness in any meeting that they attend. Because the time that you spend here, the 1.5 hours that you spend here is spent well. People recognize that, we understand that from the feedback that we get. But of course, sometimes priorities make them having to decide otherwise and part journey. So today we have 14 members, 13 members actually, Rajeswary playing a double role here. 13 members on this call, and I'm very happy to invite you to the 70th meeting. I hope it will be as interesting as the theme selected by a TMOD might be quite near to heart for all of us. Before we get on to the proceedings of the meeting, I formally, as a presiding officer, declare the 70th meeting of Technopark Toastmasters open. Now we have one guest with us today, Sunita. Sunita Benroy joins us from Chennai. Sunita, can I request you to come on video and introduce yourself in a minute about what you do and then how you came to know about Toastmasters.
Okay, I'm Sunita. I'm currently working in Pawan Cyber Tech, which is based in Bangalore. Currently in Chennai for a training only for a small space of time. So I have been in Suntech along with Arathi and all. So that's why how I came to know about the Toastmasters. I have attended the Toastmasters in direct when it was conducted. I think it was launched at that time so personally have attended one session.
Thank you, Sunita. It's so nice that you found time today in spite of your trainings to attend and witness this. And I'm sure once you settle down wherever you are, Bangalore or Chennai, you might find a club that suits you, because I know it's your long-term ambition to join a Toastmasters club and make the best use of it. Welcome, Sunita. I hope you have a nice meeting with us today.
Thank you, Arathi. Thank you.
With that, let us move on and pass the spotlight to the Toastmaster of the day, Rajeswary. Now, Rajeswary is a person full of energy and enthusiasm for anything she does. She likes trekking. She likes traveling. If you follow her on Instagram or Facebook, you can see her posting pictures from all around India. She's also a very passionate cook who cooks well, presents well, and publishes it well as well. But today she is donning the hat of a Toastmaster of the day, the MC for today's meeting, and she's going to take up a topic that is also passionate for her. May I invite Rajeswary, Toastmaster of the day, a consultant working with Infosys. Over to you, Rajeswary.
Thank you, Toastmaster Arathi, for that introduction. It's my pleasure to be Toastmaster of the day for meeting number 70. Let me introduce the theme of the day. Let us read. So do you hear about a book fest happening in Trivandrum? Any of you? Please feel free to unmute and speak.
Yes, international legislature. Thing of that.
Yes, right, Maria. So let me know who all have visited the place or who are planning to visit by over the weekend or so.
I think I'll plan to visit now. I had no plans, was not aware of it, but good to know that it's happening.
Thank you. Yes. So I assume most of you would be planning or are already having plans for that. So let me tell you, this 7-day-long International Book Festival is organized to mark the centenary celebration of Kerala Legislative Library. And it started from Jan 9 and it is concluding on Jan 15th. And this week-long festival is celebrated as Festival of Letters, which will be open to public free of cost from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. So if you think there is an entry fee, no, it's absolutely free. I urge everyone to go there and have a look. There are a lot of events happening. Yes. And let me come to the topic, let us read, which is also related to the International Book Festival happening. So that I had that in mind when I selected the topic because the book festival is happening. Before the electronic era, everyday reading was a ritual that almost everyone who wanted to gain knowledge adapted, isn't it? The benefits of reading need not to be reminded all the time. Amongst other things, we have been so preoccupied with social media and the internet that hardly any of us contemplates reading books. While some may be too busy to read, others merely don't care to read. There are many benefits to reading, as we all know. It makes us smarter, improves our writing skills. Let's just have a quick glance at what are the benefits which science also speaks. So reading helps in stimulating your brain. As per a study, one of the prime benefits of reading book is found to be slowing down the mental disorders such as Alzheimer's and dementia. Isn't it wonderful? Just by reading a book, you can achieve hand over getting an Alzheimer's or dementia because it keeps our brain active and also helps us to retain thinking capacity and our imagination. Also, as we all know, it's a good habit for stress reduction, also increases knowledge, vocabulary expansion, of course, improves our memory, analytical skills, focus, concentration, and even writing skills. We all know all of these things, but still we find it very hard to find time for reading. How sad. And also for me personally, it's a triangulity because whenever I feel a lot of hustle and bustle over a period of duration, I resolve to a book, to read a book and find solitude there. So I feel a lot of peace there. And when I cannot travel, I personally feel this is the closest thing I can do. Have a book and in my imagination travel anywhere I want with the characters in the book. And also it's a free source of entertainment, You don't have to pay too much. If you go to a theater, it will be very costly. Just have a book, imagine, and then you can be anywhere you want without any cost, right? So final thoughts here, from health benefits to getting smarter. There are numerous benefits in reading. We can expect to enhance knowledge, so many things if you develop this habit of reading book regularly. So it might appear boring unless you start. I agree, because when we start a book also, we feel bored in the beginning, right? Once we get a grip of that book or that storyline, then there is no stop. You'll be like in a roller coaster ride some of the times. And I truly believe that books are uniquely portable magic. We can have many lives in within one life. If we read a book and then we go with it. So with this thought, I would like to move on with our meeting. I invite the general evaluator to explain the evaluation process and team to support the team who is supporting her today. The general evaluator for today is Toastmaster Maria. She has been very supportive. We had a last minute request for her to join as Toast for the general evaluator, and she agreed. So thank you, Maria, for that. Over to you, Toastmaster Maria.
Thank you so much, Madam TMOD. A very good morning to all. It's still 11:15, so we are still in the morning. Good morning to every one of you. And the theme of the day is wonderful. So Toastmaster Rajeshri just, actually tempted me to go to that place, the legislature assembly, to get the books. But then I saw in one corner of my room all those books that I hoarded over time that I have not read. So that is one thing that will stop me from going, because I go there, I bring in a lot of books and store it over there. And then I say, I'll read it sometime later. So that is about the bibliophile in me. As my name suggests, I am the general evaluator for the day, which means I will be evaluating every single aspect of this session. I'll be pointing out the great and awesome things about the session, and maybe I might, if I'm lucky, I'll be able to find few things of points of improvement. Now, since this is a massive task, I have a team that helps me with it, with this task, and starting with the timer, Toastmaster Geetha, who's a scientist working at Kerala State Council for Science and Technology and Environment. She's also an active member of Women Inclusive in Technology. Over to Toastmaster Geetha, timer of the day, to explain the rules.
I don't think I'm able to hear Geetha. I don't know if it's a
No,
problem
I'm
on
not.
my side.
No,
Audio issues for Geetha.
Yeah.
Still.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you. Toastmaster Geetha, are you there?
Yes, yes, I'm here.
Okay, you sound
Very
a little
feeble.
feeble.
Can you hear me?
Better, yes, but it's still feeble.
Greetings, Toastmasters today, fellow Toastmasters and guests. As timer, I will time all the speakers today, which include their speeches, tabletop speakers, and the evaluation. I will also alert each speaker of the time they have left using the green, yellow, and red cards I'll be showing shortly, which denotes specific times remaining depending on their speech. And for the table topic, the speaker should limit their remarks only 2 minutes. At 1 minute, I will show the green card, and another 1 minute, 30 seconds, I will show the yellow card, and at 2 minutes, I will show the red card. And you will also get a grace period of 30 seconds to wind up, for which the red card remains and displayed until you finish and hand over the rollback. And for the icebreaker speeches, the speaker length is 4 to 6 minutes. And at 4 minutes, I will show the green card. And at 5 minutes, the yellow card will be shown. And for the 6 minutes, I will show the red card. The individual evaluation should be between 2 to 3 minutes. And at 2 minutes, I will show the green card. And at 2 and 30 seconds, I will show the yellow card. At 3 minutes, I will show the red card. And with this, thank you, and back to general evaluator.
Thank you, timer. moving on to the next member of my Star Stellar team is the R-Counter Toastmaster Jisha. Toastmaster Jisha has more than 15 years of experience in the software industry, and she's working as an architect in Suntech, and she loves to play badminton. Over to you, Toastmaster Jisha.
Thank you, Toastmaster. So the purpose of the R counter is to note words and sounds that are used as a crutch or a pause filler by everyone who speaks. So during the meeting, I will listen for overused words, including and, well, but, so, and you know. I will also listen for filler sounds, including and I will also note when a speaker repeats a word or phrase such as I, or this means. And at the end of the meeting, I will report the number of times that each speaker used these expressions. Thank you, Ms. Toastmaster. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jisha. That was a great report. And I think she has already started her duty. I've given her a lot of R's and ums in between my speeches. The next member in our cast is the Grammarian, and that role is held by Toastmaster. I'm sorry, I can't have it. 1 second. Toastmaster Vishnu. He is a technical manager at Nielsen, hailing from Trivandrum, Kochulur, and is happily married with a son. He has joined Toastmasters with a mission to refine his communication and leadership skills, and also to create a strong network with all of us. Toastmaster Vishnu, over to you.
Dear Toastmaster Rajeswary, Toastmaster Arathi, and Toastmaster Maria, other fellow Toastmasters and guests. My role today is the Grammarian. As Grammarian, it is my responsibility to pay close attention to all speakers and listen carefully to their language usage. I'll take note of any misuses of the language, as well as any outstanding words, quotes, sayings, or thoughts. As Grammarian, it's also my duty to introduce the word of the day. Now let me just share screen. My screen is audible, visible, and I'm audible, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I just talked about my role as a grammarian. So let me introduce the word of the day for today. So the word of the day for today is sapiens/sapient. So sapiens is a noun and sapient is adjective. So the meaning of...
Can you please move the slide?
Yeah. Slide is not visible. It's the first slide now.
Oh, okay.
Full screen.
Is this better? You're able to see the slide now, right? Hello?
No, it's still in the other
Oh,
You
mode.
can put it in the presentation mode. Vishnu?
Yeah, 1 second. Yeah, I usually do presentations in Google Slides, so that's why it's a little bit difficult. Are you able to see it now?
Yes.
It's visible.
It's visible.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, give current from current slide. Select from current slide.
I think the screen share is done for this PPT, not for the presentation mode. If you share your screen as such, then we can see both.
Oh, okay. Let me do that then. Okay, let me try this. Is this better? Are you able to see the word of the day?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So the word of the day for today is sapiens/sapient. So sapiens is the noun form of the word and sapient is adjective. The word meaning is wisdom or sagacity as a noun, And adjective, as an adjective, we can use it to denote somebody having great wisdom. So I've given 3 sample usages here. So the first usage is the dean had the kind of sapience that comes from his lifetime as an educator, just to talk about the wisdom of the dean. As an adjective, we can say that, I've given 2 usages. From the beginning of its existence, humanity has theorized the existence of other sapient species. Another adjective usage is his sapient arguments won over the audience. I also have a quote of the day. Knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom. So I wanted to invite all of you guys to use the word of the day today when you deliver your speeches, and hope to kind of hear different usages of the word. Thank you.
Thank you, Grammarian. So that was the tag team who presented their reports explaining their roles and responsibilities. They will present their report at the end of the session. And as a general evaluator, I will also present my report at the end of the session. With that, we come to the end of the general evaluator's roles and responsibilities, handing over the control to TMOD.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Maria. Now let us move on to the first segment of the meeting. We are going to start the session on prepared speeches. We all know that prepared speeches are where Toastmasters practice and perform the delivery of a prepared speech in front of an audience. First speaker is Toastmaster Prabin, who is attempting Icebreaker speech for Part 3 Presentation Mastery. The evaluator for the speech is Toastmaster Anu. I would like to invite Anu to share the objective of the speech. Before that, let me introduce Anu. Anu is working in Sundet as Quality Assurance Department in the Quality Assurance Department for the past 8 years with an overall experience of 19 years in the industry. Now she has been promoted to the head of quality. Congrats, Anu, once again. And she also loves listening to music and gardening. Let me hand over the control to Anu. Toastmaster Anu.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rajeswary. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I'm happy to perform this role as an evaluator for the Icebreaker speech. Now, the purpose of this Icebreaker speech is for the member to introduce himself to the club and learn the basic structure of a public speech. Now, as part of the evaluation, I will be giving the member an effective evaluation of his speech and the delivery style. Thank you. So looking forward to the Icebreaker speech from Prabin. Over to you, Toastmaster Rajeswary.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anu. So the first speaker for today is Toastmaster Prabin. As Anu mentioned, Prabin hails from Trivandrum and he works as a developer at Oracle. Toastmaster Prabin, still in the ring, Toastmaster Prabin.
Life is a fight. The punches, jabs, and hooks would come in the form of challenges, obstacles, and failures. It's all about standing in the ring and learn from those past challenges and failures. Good morning, fellow Toastmaster and guests. Happy New Year to all. This is my first English speech. I'm excited. Today, I'm going to share the challenges which shaped me and the failures which made me who I am today. My life is divided into 3 rounds: life in school, college, and work life. Let me start with my school life. I studied in 3 schools. My parents always say that your 10th and 12th mark will determine where you go in your life. So please study, study, study. But still I remember one incident which happened during that in my 8th standard. One day principal called my parents and told them that Prabin had 2 options. Option 1, receive TC and transfer to another school. Option 2, stay back one more year in the 8th standard. As school records 100% result in the 10th grade. Because the principal don't have any confidence in me, I couldn't look at my parents. They are standing in front of the principal. Somehow that instant motivated me to study hard. Parents sent me to a tuition for all the subjects and joined new school. After facing some challenges and failures, completed my 10th and 12th. Yes, still I am standing in the ring. After 12th, I was interested in engineering, but I didn't get any seats in government engineering colleges. So my parents advised me to pursue a degree and prepare for the BSc exam. Finally, I enrolled into BSc in biochemistry, and I finished BSc in biochemistry, but didn't prepare for the BSc exam. I'm not interested in my higher studies in the same field after finishing BSc in biochemistry. I decided to pursue MBA or MCA. I was accepted into MCA at KSR College of Engineering, Nehru. This is my second big challenge. First semester, I couldn't understand anything about computer subjects because of my biochemistry background. I lost all hope. Finally, I started searching some part-time jobs. I joined CSE Computer Institution as a teacher for school students and nearby college students. I did it partially, earned some money, and reduced the burden of my family. I started earning 2,000 rupees per month. But that computer institution job turned out to be the best thing that happened in my life. It's like a turning point of my life. I started teaching and learned more about the computer science subjects. Most of the time I spent in the institution compared to college classes. It's helped me to get good score in MCA. Yes, finally I completed MCA. Yes, still I am standing in the ring. My another big challenge, getting the job. During my MCA, I didn't get any companies during my MCA. However, one small startup company chose me for my final year project in Chennai. They decided to give me an offer based on my performance. I done my assignment and they are okay to hire me. However, I want to spend 6 more months as an intern with 6,000 rupees stipend. I agreed that internship and I continued in the same startup company. I started learning a lot in the technologies. And parallelly, I started doing some freelance works. With that knowledge, I started looking for the new, better opportunities. Finally, I got an offer from 3 IT solution in Technopark Toastmasters. Then I moved to Infosys and currently working in Oracle. Yes, still I am standing in the ring after facing some challenges and failures. There is challenges all the time. Now I am facing challenges in speaking English and public speaking. So that I joined in Toastmaster and I am fighting against that challenges. All this incident taught me one thing. It's not about the challenges and failures. It's about the facing those challenges, failures, and growing. Yes, still I am standing in the ring by learning those past challenges and failures. Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster. Back to you.
Congrats, Prabin, for completing your icebreaker speech. It was an inspiring one. So the next speaker is Toastmaster Radhika, who is attempting level 5 of effective coaching pathway. I think I said it wrongly. She is one second. Am I audible? Yeah. Radhika is attempting persuasive influence project storytelling level 3, and her topic is Alice in Wonderland. So before that, before we go to the speech, let me introduce Radhika. She is head of HR at Osman Hotel, and Radhika is a seasoned HR professional with 20+ years of experience. She is also passionate about diversity, equity, and inclusion, and also one of the key players in the B Forum. She loves a good debate any day. Toastmaster Radhika, Alice in Wonderland. Alice in Wonderland, Toastmaster Radhika. The evaluator, sorry, I missed to introduce the evaluator for the speech. Apologies. Evaluator for the speech is Toastmaster Manu. He hails from Kollam and he has been working at Infoblogs for the past 10 years. I would invite Manu to share the objective of the speech, post that Radhika will be giving her speech. Over to you, Toastmaster Manu.
Thanks, Toastmaster Rajeswary. So, yeah, second speaker for today is Toastmaster Radhika. So our first speech was really good from Prabin, and now we have our seasoned Toastmaster Radhika to give the second speech for today. I'll skip the introduction because Toastmaster Rajeswari already introduced Radhika. So the title for today is Alice in Wonderland. The purpose of this project is for the member to understand the types of persuasive speeches and deliver a persuasive speech at a club meeting. So best of luck, Radhika, Toastmaster Radhika. So the title is Alice in Wonderland. Over to you.
Then said Almitra, speakers of love. And he raised his head and looked upon the people. And there fell a stillness upon them. And with a great voice, he said, when love beckons to you, follow him, though his ways are hard and steep. And when his wings enfold you, yield to him, though his sword hidden among his pinions may wound you. And when he speaks to you, believe in him, though his voice may shatter your dreams as the north wind wastes the garden. And for as love crowns you, so shall he crucify you. Even as he for your growth, so is he for your pruning. For even as love crowns you, so shall he crucify you. For even as he ascends to your height and caresses your tenderest branches that cure in the sun, so shall he descend to your roots and shake them in their clinging to the earth. The Alice in me entered the Wonderland with a book in hand titled The Prophet by Carol Dubran. For a teenager, hardly 16 at that point in time, definitely it was another visit to the Wonderland, entering into the magic world of Sufism and philosophy that can transcend you beyond borders to uncharted territories. Up until then, I was considered a fairly good reader, but then, the reader, the child, the teenager who, reads Bobinamoli and then Twinkle, Balarama, and then slowly, graduating to the Archie's comics and billions of blue blistering barnacles, and you remember all that, isn't it? I remember the Captain, and also my favorite Tintin and the Snowy. So all that brings back memories of what we read in the early days. And then we have actually, like all Malayalis here, I have also started reading Bashir. Bashir is into all those interesting books like the Entupopa Kirani Dardu, and also this Pathumaida Ada. And all these books actually, if you remember, talked about, it was presented to you as a children's book, children's comics. Sorry, is the time up? I have this 5 to 7 minute speech, isn't it?
Yes. Now it is 3 minutes 15 seconds. Yes.
Radhika, you can continue.
Okay, sorry. So now the Bashir stories, Fatima Dada, and also this stories like the interesting bits about all those children's stories. That is what I understood, or what we all understood Bashir's books to be. But in fact, it was all philosophy and Sufism. That we came to know only very, very late in life, after we have traveled across other terrains and cultures and read other books, like the deep wisdom of Khalil Gibran stories, or with very, very interesting magical realism by Marquez. All that we have read, and then we realize Bashir is not about children's stories. Bashir is actually about philosophy and Sufism. And then, actually, if you are looking at, do we have this ardent Bashir fans here? Anyone who would like to unmute and tell me which story has changed you, the best Bashir story that you have in mind?
Arathi, the one about the orange.
The
Madhuranaringa.
Puvambalam.
That's yeah.
Puvambalam. Oh, that is hilarious. You imagine the profound philosophy that runs deep in that story. And my favorite is Premalekhanam. I love Keshavan Nair and Sarama. And that dialogue, that very, very profound sentence, the first line of that Premalekhanam. Jeevidam Yavana Surabhilavum, Yavana Tishnavum, Hirdayam Prema Surabhilavum ഈ നാളിൽ എൻ്റെ പ്രിയ സഖി എങ്ങനെയാണ് വിനിയോഗിക്കുന്നത് എന്നറിയാൻ എനിക്ക് താല്പര്യമുണ്ട്. It's a simple hi, how are you? Are you good? But the way he presents it, it becomes so romantic, and that is beyond imagination. So, coming back to the Pathumante Ada and Pupakirani, you remember this Mary had a little lamb, or once upon a time my grandpa had an elephant. So these are the stories that rated as children's stories. But is that the crux of Pathumante Ada? Is that the crux of Endupapakirani? No. Only in later years we understood it, isn't it? So I always think about these storybooks that has changed the way we look at things. They change the way we understand life. Coming back to my favorite writer, author, philosopher, Khalil Gibran again. The one writing that has changed the way I look at the past, present, and future is definitely his writing about children. You remember that? And a woman who held a babe against her bosom said, "Speak to us of children." And he said, "Your children are not your children. They are the sons and daughters of the life's longing for itself. They come through you, but not from you. And though they are with you, if they not belong to you, you may give them your love, but not your thoughts. For they have their own thoughts. You may house their bodies, but not their souls. For their souls dwell in the house of tomorrow, which you cannot visit even in your dreams. You may strive to be like them, but seek not to make them like you. For life goes not backwards, nor tarries with yesterday. You are the bow from which the children, as living arrows, are sent forth. The archer sees the mark upon the path of the infinite, and with all his might, his arrow may He bends you so his arrow may go swift and far. Let your bending in the archer's hand be for gladness, for even as he loves the arrow that flies, he loves also the bow that is stable. What more can I say about the power of books, the power of storytelling, and the power of words that can move the world and change civilization? Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Radhika. What an awesome speech it was. Took me back to the Bashi stories days in school. So moving on, third and final speech for today is by Toastmaster Arathi, who's attempting level 5 of a 50 coaching pathways. This is a high performance leadership project. The evaluator for the speech is Toastmaster Maria. Maria, a software engineer at HR Block, also the president of HR Toastmasters. He's an entertaining speaker, as you have already noticed during our session. She was a demo speaker at the district contest 2022 last year. You and I was lucky to witness it personally. I would like to invite Maria to share the objective of the speech. Over to you, Toastmaster Maria.
Thank you, Toastmaster Arathi, for those kind words. Hi, team. So right now I am standing in the capacity of an evaluator for Toastmaster Arathi's level 5 speech. Now, Toastmaster Arathi will be attempting her level 5 in the effective coaching pathways. This is a high performance leadership project. The purpose of this project is for the member to apply his or her leadership and planning knowledge to develop a project plan, organize a guidance committee, and implement the plan with the help of a team. The first part of the speech has been done, and now Toastmaster Arathi will be attempting the second part of it. Can I get the timing duration for this?
Yeah, this is the first speech, Maria, correction. Okay. 5 to 7 minutes, please.
5 to 7 minutes. So in 5 to 7 minutes, Toastmaster Arathi will tell us how she's going to execute the master plan, how did she come up with this project, and how she's going to execute it with the help of a team. Where is the fizz? All the best, Toastmaster Arathi. Over to TMOD.
Thank you, Toastmaster Maria. So the speaker today is Toastmaster Arathi. As Maria mentioned, Arathi is Associate VP in Santec, Talent Advancement and Excellence Function. She is an avid Toastmaster since 2013, a dual member of the Trivandrum Toastmasters Club, as well as Technopark Toastmasters. And she also was the charter president of our own Technopark Toastmasters. Her interests are of public speaking, yoga, arts, crafts, and whatnot. She's currently the VP Education of Technopark Toastmasters. Toastmaster Arathi, where is the fizz? Where is the fizz? Toastmaster Arathi.
I live in SFS Cyber Palms by the bypass road. It's a beautiful complex with around 500 residents. And we have two beautiful facilities there. One is a swimming pool and other is a gym. But both of these make me very sad because it is underutilized, especially the gym. It's a high-tech gym with lots of equipments, but hardly anyone uses there. For the kind of money that was spent on that equipments, people just come and use the treadmill. Isn't that a really sad state of affairs? My dear fellow Toastmasters, thank you for attending the meeting. We have a good turnout today, 13. But usually in our meeting, we have around 6 or 8 members. And you saw how the TMOD struggled to get role players today. When I see that, I remember how underutilized our gym is. I look at our club and wonder, where is the fizz in attending a Toastmaster meeting? The member engagement that gets people to attend meetings is on the downside. I would compare it to something like you would face in your love marriage relationship. At the beginning, during the courtship, there is a lot of excitement. Everybody is into it 100% of your time. And then when you get into that stage of maturity in your relationship, when you become permanent, the fizz goes down. You know it is there. You can go back to it anytime. It's taken for granted. So you don't have to spend so much time on it. The fizz has gone down. Now, my dear friends, as was mentioned, I am attempting a high performance leadership project. And my objective is to bring back the fizz in the relationship. Not in the marriage relationship, I will let that happen on its own, but in the relationship of a Toastmaster and his club. I'm planning to take up member engagement. Now, what does high performance leadership project in Toastmasters mean? It means that I'm going to drive a project. A project, as you know, would have a plan, an objective, and timelines. And I would need a team to execute it. Now, I will be picking up a theme that is relevant for the club or outside the club. And I choose to do it within the club, the project objective being to bring in member engagement. And I'm going to pick a team of 3 or 4 people who are interested in doing it. Now, every project would have stakeholders, and we would have a review committee. The timer, I have 5 to 7 minutes, and it's 3 minutes now. The review committee or the advisory committee would be some Toastmasters inside the club or outside the club. And I have chosen 2 Toastmasters, DTM Mini and Toastmaster Bharat, to be in the advisory committee, along with a team who will work on the project objective. The objective, may I repeat, is to bring in member engagement. We all know that the Toastmasters framework offers excellent resources to build your leadership and communication skills. When we do presentations or when we do demo meetings, the enthusiasm of the attendees are very high. We see that in the way they join up without much ado. Now, the challenge is to retain their interest so that rather than just attending meetings, they gain more than what they have signed up for. And that is going to be my objective. How do you keep the member engagement active and give back to the Toastmasters what they actually wanted out of Toastmasters meeting? Now, to do that, I will break up my project into multiple milestones. To start with, we would have to form a team. Next, we would have to understand what the problem, break down the problem by doing a user feedback analysis, and then work on the analysis and come out with a plan, all of them in a time-bound manner. I plan to do this in a course of 8 weeks, splitting all these activities, sharing the load across the team members, and thereby I can help these team members also develop and understand how to execute a project together as a team. Now, what do I seek from all of you to make this project successful? I would want you to either volunteer for this project, or if you don't have the time or energy to do that, you may give your feedback on what you think as a member that will help bring in more member engagement. Maybe it's variety meetings. Maybe it is focusing on your development. As you all know, Toastmasters framework is a sapiens of knowledge. There's a lot of international learning that has gone into it. And you do not just learn by speaking, you learn by collaborating with other clubs, taking up roles, taking up leadership roles beyond your club, participating in contests. So beyond speaking in a club, beyond attending a club meeting, what are the things that you should be doing? That is going to be the focus of my project. The high performance leadership project is my attempt to bring in member engagement. It is going to be executed in a period of 2 months. And this, I assume, would only be the beginning, because once you implement a set of initiatives, you would know what more needs to be done. And for that, I'm going to rely on a team of equally enthusiastic Toastmasters and the review committee to guide us. I will be back at the end of the project to share my learnings throughout the journey. So till then, I'm going to explore where is the fizz and what can we do to bring back the fix. With your support, I am starting the project today and back to TMOD. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Arathi. Yes, let's bring back the fizz. What an inspiring speech and very beneficial for the club too. Thanks for that. Next, we move on to an interesting session, the table topic session, where we all have an opportunity to try our impromptu speaking. And today, we have Toastmaster Geetha Dayal as the topic master. Geetha is a scientist working at Kerala State Council for Science, Technology and Environment. She's also a member of Women Inclusive in Technology. So I'll ask Geetha to give a high-level intro on what her topics are about and the timings and the rules of the table topics. Since she is also the timer, I would be screen sharing the topics and helping the speakers to select the topics. Over to you, Geetha, Toastmaster Geetha.
Arathi, would you please share what I have said so that I can time on that? Arathi?
We are not able to hear you.
I have already shared this slides with you, Rajeswary. Hello.
Since Geetha is not audible, let me do the give the highlights.
Yeah.
We'll
So
have two topics. Yeah. Hello,
Geetha was saying that she has shared the slides to you.
Yes, she has shared the slides. I was asking her to give the rules and how the session will go, but I can do that. Slides are with me, as I said earlier. So basically, we will have impromptu speaking audience. We will be given random topics. You can choose from, giving a number, choose from, and then we will show you the topic. And you have to speak at least for a minute. And you will be shown a green card when it is 1 minute and a yellow card when it is 1 minute 30 seconds. And you have to finish the speech by 2 minutes. And you have a grace period of 30 seconds. So 2 minutes, 30 seconds, you can speak. After that, you will be, if you are speaking more than that, you will be disqualified. So watch the time and all the best, everyone. So I request everyone to come forward and give it a shot. It's the fun session where we can give random speeches on topics. So I will ask everybody to give a shot at it and attempt the table topics. Let me know who wants to go first. I can screen share meanwhile.
Let's pick someone who has not spoken. Vinita, do you want to try? And then maybe Alex and then Sunita. We probably have time only for that.
Okay, yeah, I'll try.
Do you want me to time this, Geetha? Or are you comfortable?
Yes, sir. No, I will be doing.
No, she's timing, right? So that's why I'm sharing the screen.
All right.
But Geetha, let us know if you need help.
Okay, I'll choose a number 7.
Okay, Vinita. So Geetha, please note, at 1 minute, you have to show green card, 1 minute, 30 seconds yellow, and by 2 minutes, the red card. Okay. So you have chosen 7. So let me go to slide number 7. So champions aren't made in gym. What is your opinion? Champions aren't made in gym. What is your opinion? Over to you, Toastmaster.
So thank you, fellow Toastmasters, for this topic. So my topic is champions aren't made in gyms.
and what is my opinion about that? I think in today's world, a lot of importance is given to taking care of your body and going to the gym. So actually, that is a very good thing that you take care of yourself and you go to the gym. And a person who is whose body is very good, who has taken care of his body and who is healthy, is genuinely someone who deserves a lot of applause, because that's something very difficult. But according to my topic, it is said that champions don't only belong in the gym. So that means there are a lot of people who also, they can do the workouts at home and still take care of themselves. Nowadays there is yoga and many other things, so we can take care of ourselves in that way. And even the normal housewives we have every day, so they might not be doing any sort of workout kind of thing, but we know they walk the most. Maybe if we take the number of steps, if we count from morning to night, from all their works, running behind the children, taking care of them, they will be doing a lot more workout, lot more number of steps will be covered. So, and they will be like the true champions because they are taking care of the whole family. So that is the one kind of people. And then there are like you can take about anyone, could be teachers, they will also be running around with the students. So that is also a kind of work. So any people who are devoted to service or to do any kind of work for others, they're also working hard, so emotionally and mentally. So that is also kind of contributing to their health. And so I think that going to the gym and taking care of your body is very important, and everybody should do that. But nowadays you can also take care of yourself at home when you don't have time, and when majority of your time is sent to help others. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vinida, for attempting the improper speech. Thank you for sharing your thoughts. Who want to go next? All are very simple topics chosen by Toastmaster Geetha. Please come forward.
Next.
I will go next. Manu here.
Thanks, Manu. So let me share my screen. Geetha, can you stop sharing, please? Thank you. So Manu, let me know which number you want to go with.
3.
3. Okay. Here you go. Great work are performed not by strength, but by perseverance. Great work are performed not by strength, but by perseverance. Over to you, Toastmaster Manu.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rajeswary. So the topic is great work are not performed by strength, but by perseverance. Probably we can relate that to our Toastmaster journey, right? I think it takes time for all the changes. It really doesn't happen all of a sudden. By perseverance, I feel the meaning is that you have to be there, right? You have to do things. It takes time. So all of us have joined Toastmasters to improve some part of our speech or some part of our leadership skills. And I don't think we will all be able to do it within a month or two. It will take time. It will take the time, the effort, the perseverance that is needed. And I'm sure that after probably a year or a two, everybody will start seeing a lot of changes within all of us. I think that is the best way that I can relate to this particular topic. And this goes to everything as well. Time really helps in changing things rather than putting everything in one go. It helps in changing things. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Manu, for having those words on topic. Who wants to go next before Arathi chooses people?
I can go next.
Thanks, Jisha. Let me share my screen again. So which number do you want, Jisha?
I'll go with 5.
Okay. Here you go. The man who walks in the crowd and man who walks lonely. The man who walks in the crowd and man who walks lonely. Over to you, Toastmaster Jisha.
Thank you, Toastmaster, for giving me this topic. The man who walks in crowd and the man who walks lonely. So what I can understand from this is like, sometimes even in a crowd, we may be lonely with our own personal affairs. And so even in a crowd, a person, okay, I'll take it in a different way. So sometimes we have to work in a group, and we work with a crowd, and we come up with like, even though we are in a crowd, we can come up with something in a way which is beneficial for everybody. So that's what I can think of when working in a crowd. And when we work lonely, it is what comes to my mind is like the famous saying which with Rabindranath Tagore said that even if you are lonely, you can act la chalo. That's something that said in Bengali, which means that you can make the changes even though you're working lonely. So that's what comes in my mind when I hear this. I'm not sure if I capture the topic very correctly. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jisha. There is no right and wrong. You make it the way you want with the topic. It was very nice to hear from you. And Arathi, quick time check. We have 3 evaluations to go. Maybe we have.
Does Alex want to speak?
Yeah, Arathi.
Okay, we'll go with that.
Okay. And this will be our last table topic session. In the table topic session, let me quickly share my screen. Alex, choose the number.
Yeah, I just 9.
Okay, here you go, Alex. Positive thinking and good results, your experience. Positive thinking and good results, your experience. Over to Toastmaster Alex.
What a coincidence, because for the last few months, experienced such a stressful situations in my personal life. So the point being is, you always need certain kind of pressure and probably some kind of discomfort situations to uplift your life. So positive results is not coming always from positive situations. So that is the first thing. You can have positive results from the negative situations. So all the thing is your perception and your acceptance. So if something in terms of your perception is negative, maybe at the end you will have it in a positive way. So which implies like maybe the entire society or world will see something happen to you very negatively. But if you take the things or that situations or incidents in a positive way, and if you believe that you can make a change, and if you have that patience, that is one of the topics which somebody have taken previously. I just don't name. I think it's Vanida maybe. So that patience, that combination is somehow it's explosive. So that will literally create a very, should I say, a very I don't know what's exactly the term, but it will last forever. Okay, so that combination of perception even if it is in a negative situation, and your response and your response means trust and your patience will make some negative situations into your positive in positive ways, and that will last forever. And always believe that this positive thinking is may not be always good. You can be in a negative thinking for a while, and that is absolutely okay. But at the end, you should keep all these three things together. You should be patient. Okay. So that's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Alex. Yes, perseverance can take you a long way. And let's quickly take the session forward. And let's move on to the evaluation session. I invite the general evaluator, Toastmaster Maria, for providing the feedback for the participants today.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rajeswary. So let me first call the first evaluator for the first speech, Toastmaster Anu, to give the feedback for the speaker. Toastmaster Anu, over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Maria. Now, let me first start by congratulating Prabin for his wonderful icebreaker speech. It was, it was really a great speech, very inspiring. And congratulations to you, Prabin. We loved hearing you speak your the life journey and whatever you said. So just to start off, whenever we hear an intro of a person and they talk about the firms they work with, you are from Oracle. So when we hear, we feel, okay, you are in a bed full of roses. But then today you narrated your journey, the challenges that you had to face, and which finally ended up you in such a good firm. So that was really inspiring. Thanks for that. Now, on the evaluation of the speech, there were a lot of positive points which I could, note down. The first thing was, it was a very pleasant speech. You started with a very, very good smile. Okay, so that it was very nice. You started in a very pleasant manner. The smile was very good and heartwarming. So it was very nice. Then, in spite of being an online meeting, you tried to use your hand gestures very well. Wherever you try to use it more often, and it never felt like you are, in an online meeting and standing in front of a computer and speaking. So that was good. Then you spoke right from your heart. It was like, it never felt like it is a prepared speech. You were trying to speak right from your heart, and then we could all feel those emotions. It was nice. We could relate to what you were trying to say. So that was very good. And you were trying to bring emotions also into your speech. Just to give an example, when you were talking about your parents in front of your principal, and how how you felt sad for them when the principal narrated about your performance, and also it was, you tried to bring in that emotion. So it was very well. We could relate to that feeling. So it was good. Really loved it. And then finally, the conclusion was also very good, wherein you try to conclude with a takeaway. You said that, yeah, it's not about the challenges, it is about how you face the challenges. So it is like, good. You started with standing in the ring, then you narrated your thing, and finally you concluded with a takeaway. And that was a really wonderful way to conclude your speech. Then the timing was also maintained. It was within the limit, as timer Geetha said. So that was another thing. So overall, it was a very good speech. I didn't really feel like an icebreaker speech. I think you prepared very, very well. It came right from the heart, and there was a good flow for your speech. So really, I loved your speech. Congratulations for the speech. Now, as part of my role, I have to give the negative points. There are no much negative points, but then I'll just give a few suggestions. It is for you and also beginners like me. I think it is easy for us to speak in front of online meetings. It's easy, we somehow manage. But then I think you and me and people like us, we'll have to try to attend more of on physical meetings, which would give us more confidence to speak in front of a larger audience. So I would request Arathi and Prakash to arrange or more physical meetings which we can attend. Then eye contact. I don't know, eye contact you're trying to maintain in spite of being in online, you're trying to maintain the eye contact, but then I think this is the limit. We have a limit with online meeting, but then whatever you've done it well. So that is my evaluation. Once more, congratulating you for your icebreaker speech. It was a great attempt. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster Maria.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anu. Toastmaster Prabin, just like how Toastmaster Anu said, let me congratulate you because this is the first step in your journey of becoming a great Toastmaster. The first step is the hardest step and you just nailed it. It was a nice title, In the Ring. It was very intriguing and you explained it beautifully with 3 sections of your life and very well woven. There was no difficulty in transition from school to college to work life. It was all perfectly, it was watching a great movie there and we could all relate to that 10th and 12th is the most important part of your life. So if you study now, then you can party later, which never comes ever. It's like always working hard. And as far as I can say that there was a free flow of words. So when you said I have a challenge in speaking in English or public speaking, it was really hard to believe, but as Toastmaster Anu said, with all those points of improvement, those pearls of wisdom, I'm very sure that next time when we meet, I'll say, wow, I have no points of improvement at all. And it's absolutely great. So congratulations, Toastmaster Prabin. Toastmaster Anu, about your evaluation, you highlighted the good points for the speaker and the speaker is definitely motivated. They feel very happy about the good points. And you did give them points of improvement about how to improve the eye contact or, what should be done because we are in an online virtual mode. So because of that, these are the reasons, these are the difficulties that we face. However, we can overcome with so and so. So your experience has come into a lot of, has come into play and that has helped the speaker to achieve greater heights. And thank you so much for your valuable evaluation. Thank you so much. And now moving on to the second evaluator for the second speaker, Toastmaster Radhika speaker, Toastmaster Manu.
Thanks, Toastmaster Maria. So I think everybody would have loved the speech by Toastmaster Radhika. And we have heard her speaking in the past as well. She is a really good speaker, and today was no exception. It was a great speech. The project that Toastmaster Radhika took was persuasive influence. And by persuasive, it's an adjective. It means persuading someone to do something. And I believe she has persuaded us to read. She went down the memory lane and got us told us about some of the books that we read in the past, right? And during our childhood, books like Balrama and Tintin, right? So that was a good thing. And then it was good to bring in thoughts about Bashir and some quotes also from the books that were written by Bashir as well. So in that way, it was a good persuasive speech. One thing I like about Radhika's speech, it is well paced, and today also it was good. It was not the speech was not too fast or too slow. It was it was in a good pace for anybody to understand and keep their eyes on. And there was some interruption in between during Radhika's speech. One good thing that happened was, like, normally when somebody is interrupted, you lose track and then the whole speech goes for a toss. But it was good to see that Radhika was able to start from where she stopped. So that was actually a good presence of mind as well. Apart from this, from an improvement perspective, there are some improvements I could see. Overall, it was a really good speech, but some improvements. There was some hand movements. It was actually good to see hand movements. She was standing and speaking, and it was good to see the hand movements. But once in a while, I could see that she was reaching out to the laptop or to the computer, probably to read the notes or so. Yeah, we all need notes to provide a good speech, but then it's good if she don't make it evident, right? Keep it somewhere in the laptop, right? Some part of it which is easily visible, and you can read it from there or make pointers. You can use the pointers and talk from those pointers. So that would help in future speeches. So that was the only improvement that I could find. Overall, it was a really great speech from Radhika. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster Maria.
Thank you, Toastmaster Manu. I echo with what Toastmaster Manu said. Your speech was like a story. You took us down the memory lane and you did persuade us to read. I've heard my mom saying that we read Bashir's book in school, and I always thought maybe it's something about small kids. It might be a child's story, children's story that they had as a part of their curriculum. But I never thought that it had a deeper meaning or the hidden meaning. So thank you so much for bringing that to my light. And I love stories, and your title also was like as Alice in the Wonderland, and I was like, wow, today is a good day for stories. And I really loved the speech. It was well paced, very well paced. You introduced us to a lot of books, especially me. I hardly read any Malayalam books, but today I had a lot of Malayalam books, and they are all there in my wish list right now. You had triads being used. It was well aligned to the theme, and I'm pretty sure your speech was a feast for the grammarian, because there were a lot of good usages. And as Manu highlighted, it was very difficult to find a point of improvement. Toastmaster Manu, your evaluation was very crisp. You started off with what you loved about the speech. It was well paced, it was beautiful, and you also had a good usage. Goes for a toss. Actually, that was a great usage. And you also highlighted how the member or how the speaker usually loses track when there is an interruption, but how Toastmaster Radhika came back without having any problem. You are actually a very, very observant evaluator, because you caught the smallest of details when the speaker was speaking, that she reached out for the laptop, which is something that most of us would have missed. We wouldn't have noticed it, but that shows that how keen you were about evaluating your speaker, be it in the terms of speech, body language, gestures, and vocal variety. You are closely evaluating the speaker. Hats off to you for that. So with that, thank you so much, Toastmaster Manu, and thank you so much, Toastmaster Radhika, for that wonderful speech and wonderful evaluation. I'm calling the third evaluator, which happens to be me, for Toastmaster Arathi's speech. Toastmaster Arathi, where is the fizz? Let me tell you, as a general evaluator, there were 3 speeches, and all 3 speeches had different types of intriguing titles, and I had absolutely no idea. So where is the fizz? The first thing that comes to my mind about fizz is something about software, soft drinks. I'm like, okay, something related to that. Then I read the project details, high performance leadership project. So I thought, okay, maybe she's going to campaign that, this is not good for health. You have to get rid of it. And I was a little skeptical, because I have a great liking towards it. Now, as an evaluator, a goal without a plan is only a dream. Toastmaster Arathi, you spoke as a leader, not just any leader, a visionary leader, a Toastmaster with a vision for her club and for her members. Your speech was like an episode of Shark Tank, where you pitched in your idea so well. It was so convincing that if I had been a shark, I would have wholeheartedly invested in this idea with no questions asked, because you never gave us a room for questions. You explained every single thing. This is your plan. You broke it down to small pieces about who is there in your advisory committee, how long will it take for you to implement this particular project, and what do you want from the members. Everything was crystal clear. It was a well-woven speech, and you encouraged the audience to say, throughout the speech, you were having a connect with your audience, because first you said your mission is member engagement. You repeated it twice, and the third time, automatically, when you said the mission of my project is, we all said, yes, member engagement, because you etched it down into our, it was like a brain tattoo for us. Member engagement. Toastmasters Arathi's project is member engagement. You had amazing hand gestures when you looked from one side to the other, indicating the gym on one side and the club on one side. You painted a beautiful picture, and that is what turned all of our heads, that in your apartment in SFS Cyber Pumps, there is a fully facilitated gym that is kind of very abandoned, and you're very sad about it. We are all there at the gym with those highly equipped things over there. And as an evaluator, I found it extremely difficult to find very, points of improvement, because I was very happy about it. I was just smitten by the speech, and I was like, wow, what a way of pitching the idea. But I did find a point of improvement, because one point of improvement I would say is vocal variety, because when you said first the gym, then the club, and then the fizz. When you said initially the fizz is very high, there's a lot of fizz, you could use your voice to be very loud, indicating that it is highly energetic and it is, it's that impact. And when the fizz fades, you can also use your sound fading off, indicating, yeah, it's all dying down to a point. Stage movement, you constantly kept moving front and back. It was forth and back, not the side. So it could be better if you use the entire stage. Maybe the gym was on this side and then you move on to a club and then you saw each other and you got the parallel. You understood the idea. Toastmaster Arathi, you have a mission, you know your dreams, and I'm very sure after 2 months, we'll be back here to celebrate the success of your master plan. All the very best to you, Toastmaster Arathi and Technopark Toastmaster. You're lucky to have her in your team. Thank you so much. So the evaluator's report is over. Now let me switch back to general evaluator. Now calling on the Toastmaster, timer of the day, Toastmaster Geetha for timing reports.
Hello?
Yes.
Yes, may I share my report?
Yeah.
Here, this is the report shown. So we have red speeches, icebreaker speeches, as well as the tabletop speeches. So for the icebreaker speeches, Prabin, he was able to talk within the limits of 6 minutes. And for the prepared speeches, time limit was for 2 minutes, but Toastmaster Radhika, she took 8 minutes 31 seconds. Toastmaster Arathi, she took 7 minutes 5 seconds. And for the table topic, almost all the speakers, they could stick within.
I'm not able to hear you, Geetha. Is anybody else facing the problem?
Thank you, and over to general evaluation. This is the report.
No, not able to hear.
I could hear feebly.
It was a little feeble.
Hello.
Yes. Toastmaster Geetha, yes.
I can hear you now, yeah.
Yes, I have already presented the report. Should I read much more or less more?
So it is fine, I guess.
It's fine. It's fine.
No disqualifications, right? So maybe it's fine, yeah.
The entire report is here.
No disqualification. All of us are well within time.
Yeah.
Radhika is a little bit over.
Yes.
1 second. So what is the time limit for prepared speeches? May I know?
Mine
that?
was 7 minutes. I overshot by 1 minute.
And for Arathi?
5 to 7 minutes.
She was good. 7 minutes and with a 30-second buffer, she was good.
Yeah. So otherwise, all well done.
Thank you, Toastmaster Geetha, for that wonderfully presented report. So even though it was feeble, we were able to read out to the last minute. Everything was perfectly done. Thank you so much for that well-documented report. Moving on to the R counter of the day, Toastmaster Jisha, over to you.
Yeah, I'm sharing my screen. Okay, I cannot share my screen. So can somebody help in now? Okay. Yeah, now I can. Okay, am I in the wrong window? Wait a second. I think I have shown a wrong window. Give me a second. Just bringing this up. Okay, now you can see my screen. Am I audible?
You are.
Okay, and is it the right screen that you're seeing, or?
Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah, so I have captured a few of the points from today's session, and for Radhika, she was using for 3 times, and actually she used twice. Arathi, it's the same 3, and now seems to be frequently used. And Rajeswary, there were little additional R's that we saw, and Anu 4. And for Manu, so is used twice. Prabin's speech, I did not capture any of the R's or any of the any additional words in it, so it was a good speech. And for Maria, actually was used once additionally, so I have captured that. Yeah, so this is from my end.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Jisha. That was again a well tabulated report with all the crutch words that we use and the other words that we may use, including actually. That was great. Point of highlight that I would like to suggest is that she has captured her own R counts also. I thought as a table topic speaker, she would be going scot-free without counting her R's, but no, she has pointed out her own R's. So thank you so much for whoever has helped Toastmaster Jisha for that. Moving on to the Grammarian's report, Grammarian Vishnu, over to you.
Yeah, let me just share my screen. So coming to the word of the day, I noticed that Arathi had used Sapiens. I couldn't catch anybody else using it, so apologies if I missed, the usages of the word. Coming to grammatical uses, suggestions for improvements, I felt that Prabin's speech was really passionate and it was a really powerful speech. But in terms of tenses and in terms of minor grammatical things, I think there were some occurrences, some of it which I have noticed, and I've captured it here. Now coming to Radhika, I couldn't really capture any. I mean, the only thing I captured was children's book. I think the instead of singular, she had used plural, something like that. Coming to Arathi, I felt that again the grammatical usages were generally really good, but I felt that some of the phrases could have been a little bit more concise. For example, isn't that a sad state of affairs? Maybe isn't that a shame, right? So maybe a little bit more concise a framing of some of those phrases. Coming to Vinita, again, overall, I felt it was really good, grammatical usage. Just captured a couple of cute things which I noticed. Normal housewives. I thought just housewives would have been, just housewives, or using housewives would have been sufficient. That is also kind of contributing. That is also contributing, right? So, coming to Manu's speech, so there was this phrase that I noticed, which was I think used a couple of times. Think time really helps in changing things. Again, I think maybe a more concise way of saying it would be things change with time. Coming to Jisha's speech, there were a couple of things which I noticed, like working lonely. Working alone would be the correct usage. Very correctly, felt correctly is sufficient in that context. Coming to Alexa's speech, again, I felt it was a really passionate and from the heart speech. Noticed few small things like implies, like felt that implies is enough. Very negatively, I thought negative was okay. It will last forever. I think this was repeated a couple of times. I felt that lasting positive change, or he could have articulated it like using these words instead of it will last forever, right? So yeah, I think overall I felt it was a really all the speeches were really good and very, very passionate. And this is my first grammarian role, so would look forward to feedback from all of you guys. Thank you all.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vishnu. This is your first grammarian role. Unbelievable. Actually, the tag team has a tabulated set of documents. It's all tabulated, so professional. It's just a pleasure to look at it. It's so concise, so professional. Toastmaster Vishnu, I think you are a person who likes to size things down. You don't want to use a lot of words. You don't just capsulate everything, because most of your grammatical errors that you said, okay, this can be articulated like this, is that small words. So that makes it beautiful. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Vishnu. That was a great grammarian role. I think you are a great grammarian. It's an asset to have you.
Yeah, I think credit to Prakash and Balaji for giving me the documents.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Prakash and Balaji, for helping him out there, and looking forward to seeing you as a grammarian more and more often. Now coming to the other part of the general evaluators report, starting with the Sergeant at Arms. Toastmaster, acting Sergeant at Arms, Toastmaster Rajeswary, you sounded like an air hostess, because when we are in a plane, they come with a single tone, perfect. There's no high pitch, low pitch. It comes as a single tone, and so clear and pleasant to hear. You say, the emergency, mask is at the bottom of your seat for this person. And so here there are 2 X's. This is the same thing how she said the ground rules. We have 3 ground rules here. It's like this, it's like that. Everything was perfectly crisp. It was like sitting in a plane. We are going for a journey. Hats off to that. And it was beautiful. It was professional. That's what I really loved about it. And congrats to Technopark Toastmasters, who are celebrating its 2 years of journey, many more to go. Technopark Toastmasters is like, it's like a family club for me, because a lot of people over here, I know them for a long time. So it's like coming and walking into my own place. And Technopark Toastmasters, I don't have that, little bit of the first time feeling, or that little hindrance that we usually have when we meet new people. So I think Toastmaster Geetha, we have been the timer, grammarian, and G most of the times. Last April also, we were this same part, because I remember scientists, and I'm like, wow, I am working with a scientist. Oh my God. It's like a great thing. Toastmaster Radhika, Toastmaster Prakash, Toastmaster Arathi, Toastmaster Rajesh, it's like all having family members out here. So it is great to be here, and I love being a part of it. Uh, Toastmaster Arti, as the acting president, you address the guest, you welcome them, you made them feel like a member of this club itself without being a member. Toastmaster Sunita, if you're there, I hope to see you as a member of Toastmasters, any club, Toastmasters club, Bangalore, Chennai, or even Technopark Toastmasters. I hope to see you there. One thing that the general evaluator would like to suggest as a point of improvement for the general evaluator is that I had a mix up with the name of the grammarian. I missed the name. I wrote it down, but I forgot the name. And I ended up calling him Toastmaster Grammarian. So that was a little bit, it was a slip of the tongue. TMOD, you set the tone of the meeting. Tranquility, solitude, or all good usages. You handled the situation very well. Anytime there was a glitch, you jumped in. Again, the air hostess mode has come in. You jumped in and you handled the situation beautifully. Timer card, again, it was crisp, well tabulated. However, I would suggest that when you explain the timing, you can say when it's 1 minute, I will show the green card. You can demonstrate it. So we are, the new member or a new guest, or the guest will be able to see that, okay, this is the green card, this is the amber card, this is the red card. And initially when we start, it's the blue card. So you can show these are the 4 cards that will make the picture clearer. You've already made it clear with your words. A demonstration, will make it better. Our counter, again, wonderfully reported. And I like that you counted your own hours. So that is great. Grammarian, the tag team explained their rules and regulation, roles and responsibilities perfectly crystal clear. Nobody had any doubts about it. When Vishnu was facing issues, we all jumped in to help. We just didn't think about the time or anything. We all jumped in to help. How we can solve that? That is a great team spirit that we display here in Toastmasters. Again, well explained word of the day. You use the word of the day in the noun form, in the adjective form, so that we understand the difference between it. So that was wonderfully. And the quote of the day is also exactly everything aligned to the theme and aligned to the word of the day. That was great. With that, I think I come to the end of the general evaluators report. Thank you so much for having me over on a Saturday, otherwise lazy Saturday. You turned it into a productive Saturday. Thank you so much, Technopark Toastmasters. Many more to go, and I hope you reach the 100th milestone, 150th milestone very soon. Over to the TMOD.
Thank you, Toastmaster Maria. That was the energetic Maria for us. So with that, we come to an end of a wonderful session. I would like to end the session with a thought on the theme of the day. As we are all Homo sapiens and the one with wisdom and intellect, so we know the more you read, the more things you will know, and the more you learn, the more places you will go. So let's go places. Thank you, everyone. Over to you, President, Acting President, Toastmaster Arathi.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, Rajeswary, for conducting the meeting very well. And thank you all role players and audience today for making this a great meeting. We have overshot by 10 minutes, but I'm sure that we can wind up fast. But it was a lovely meeting, very befit for a 70th meeting and a second anniversary celebration, which is going to be a month-long process, I hope. The Toastmaster, by choosing a theme that is all close to our heart, but again, as she said, we stay away from it for some reason. Maria pinpointed it. You buy all the books and then it is left in corner. Meetings like this, speeches like this is going to poke our conscious, making us feel bad. And I'm sure Vishnu is going out and visiting the meeting, the exhibition, and I'm sure I will dust up some of my old books. Thank you, Radhika, for bringing up Bashir. Need to read it. I'm sure. I think Alex is also an avid reader. So some of us are going to feel pangs of guilt for not following it, and some of us are going to explore. Lovely theme of the day. Now, General Evaluator Maria, thank you for coming in and making this a beautiful meeting. So many insights and learnings for all of us, and all the three speakers, including me, very different topics. And like Maria said, right from the title, it is very intriguing. All table topic speakers, thank you for pitching in. We did have some technical glitches, but Geetha, thank you for taking up this role in the last minute. We pushed you to it, but thank you for your sportive spirit. With that, can we look at who are the winners? Not winners, we just like having a little competition and winning a small race, one race at a time. So it's fun, nothing personal in it. So the best role player for today is General Evaluator Maria, for all the insights that you have given us and for making it very positive. Thank you so much, General Evaluator Maria.
Thank you so much.
The best table topic speaker is Vinita, with her talk about gyms and champions being inside the gym or being at home. Thank you, Vinita. Great attempt. The best speaker, Radhika had to be dropped because of time over limit. So it was between Prabin and Arathi, and the winner is Arathi. But I would like to share this with Prabin because he did a lovely icebreaker speech and he has come a long way to do this. So the winners are both of us. And it's very tough to match a level 1 project with a level 5 project. So your win, Prabin, has more weightage, I would say. And the best evaluator, we have actually a tie between Manu and Maria. Well done. And Anu has also got equal votes, but just a little behind. So I think we have a lot of winners here. So thank you all for voting, and thank you all for making this a great meeting. I hope, Sunita, you enjoyed this, and hope you will be back as a Toastmaster and no longer need to be introduced as a guest in the Toastmaster fraternity.
Yes, Arathi, of course.
All right. Thank you all. With that, I adjourn this meeting. This meeting is officially concluded. Thank you all. And we will meet again next week. Toastmaster for next week is Jisha, who I have successfully persuaded in between this meeting.
Thank you, team. Have a great weekend.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you, team. Bye-bye.
Thanks, everyone. Happy weekend.